Dr. Rachel Griffiths, and I'm with my father and partner in aquatics.
Dr. Tom Griffiths.
Welcome to the Drowning Files, where each week we share a lawsuit we've been involved in or another true story with suggestions to learn from these tragedies to save lives. What case do you have today?
Well, this was a unique case. It occurred in the Northeast, and it was a camp drowning, a high school camp drowning. And more specifically, this was about a band camp. A high school, late in the summer, decided to go to a campground with a lake to practice their songs and their routines for the upcoming high school sports season. And so all these camp members signed up to go to a sleepover band camp at a campground that was closed for their season, but right around Labor Day, they're just before, just after Labor Day, I can't remember, for these band members for a week to spend at the camp to play and to practice their routines. And what happened was that all the band members were assigned dormitories, camp-like dormitories, for the boys and the girls, separate dormitories. And after a couple days into the camp, they had breakfast on the third day of camp, and this one band member didn't show up for breakfast. And then they would all meet around the flag to begin their activities and their practices and their marching band routines. And this young man did not show up. They did not know where he was. And so they started a search routine. And ultimately, after many hours of searching, they had no place else to look at. So they called in the rescue team to search the lake. And sure enough, after an extended search, they found the young man. As I recall, he was a sophomore in the camp, had drowned in the lake. And so a lawsuit was brought against the high school and the camp owners because they did not protect their son from drowning in the lake. Well, one of the very unusual things about this case was they performed an autopsy on the boy, and they found excessive amounts of alcohol in his system. And to this day, they don't know how he ingested that alcohol or who provided that alcohol to them. Did he do it on himself? Did other people supply him of alcohol? And eventually the case just settled, but it was a very difficult case because of all the unknowns. And so basically that's the case that I have for you, a very unusual and unsolved drowning mystery.
So what lessons could be learned or takeaways from this one?
Well, I think from the campground perspective, I think that alcohol has to be searched for, bringing in alcohol to the camp. I mean, somehow, some way this guy drank while he was there. And then also, I think they have to be security around that lake, some type of security, either through lights on the lake at night or security patrols around the lake. I think the lake front, the campground, when there's water on the property, has to do more because water is an attraction. And, basically they need 24/7 surveillance when you have young people on the grounds for an extended period of time and sleeping overnight.
And when alcohol is involved, or a variety of different substances, this can hold true for, but the risks around the water are twofold. One is that you might engage in more risk taking, so might be more likely to go to the lake if you can't swim or that type of thing. So you're your guard is down. You might take more risks. So it can be dangerous in that way when it comes to the water. And then also, alcohol and other substances can actually affect your system in such a way that it can help precipitate um, drowning and passing out under the water.
Exactly. And another thing that has to be mentioned is more vigilant camp counseling, so that you know when someone leaves the dormitory, you know when they escape from their supervision, better supervision, more vigilant supervision. From the parents' perspective, I don't know what more they can do other than educating their warning about their child around the water. But you know, one of the problems with high school sleepovers and middle school sleepovers is there's a lot of peer pressure going on. And so that can create a situation where a student might do something that they normally would not do without peer pressure. But we don't know if that had any effect on this drowning at all. We just don't know. It just shows you that drowning can be quick, quiet, and subtle, and oftentimes we can miss the telltale signs of drowning and not know why it's caused.